Ian, let's start with the defensive effort, especially in that third period, only 3 shots for Buffalo. What was working so well with this group to limit their time and space and really keep things on the perimeter?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're right. We're trying to limit time and space, so that's us setting good gaps. That's forwards having really great reloads. They like to use that wide side of the ice, so that's F3 coming back to try to cut that ice in half. And it's also our fourth and fifth guy beating their defenseman up the ice. Their defensemen are very skilled. They really like to join the play. Negating that facet of their game was huge. So we can just worry about the first 2 forwards or the highest 2 guys, and they can take care of the lowest guys and the widest guys, and it tends to sort itself out pretty well. So, but above and beyond that, I think it was just a mentality of hey, we're gonna, once we got the lead and we were able to just lock it down, hey, we're gonna do whatever it takes to win this hockey game. We knew the desperation that we needed to play with going into this game. We knew how important this game was for us to turn things around and get back on the right foot.
Speaking of getting back on the right foot, what do you need to take into this next game and then into the road trip? I know it's been a lot of games on the road, but with this busy schedule, what do you guys need to keep doing night in and night out?
Yeah, I mean, it's all consistency, right? It's having the same mentality. It's having the same team game, same game plan, regardless of who we play. So obviously Buffalo struggled a bit. That's good. We have played against some really good teams this year, and when we found ourselves behind the 8 ball, we deviated from that. So, as we go here against the Islanders, which have been playing pretty well, and then going into Anaheim the next game, we've been playing unbelievably well. We're going to face more of a challenge, and I think the challenge for us is going to be try to continue with that same mindset, that consistency, stick with that, and then have trust in our skill and have trust in our players that will get the job done.
You're one of the defensemen who's been on the score sheet in recent games. This D-core is contributing. D. Simone with a big goal last night. What's the focus or intentionality from the D-core to help with that offense and bring in that part of the game?
Yeah, it's listen, we don't want to cheat for offense. We don't want to lead the zone early. We don't want to give up anything defensively to get offense as defensemen, at least our defensemen on our team. But we also want to join in whenever we can. We also want to we need to be in the rush. We need to be active in the offensive zone. We know we need to help our forwards create those odd man situations. So as we can jump in and we can do that, we want to do it as often as we can, like I said, without giving up anything defensively. So far, I think we've done a pretty good job of that. Obviously, can get better at it, can be more active, can produce more. But again, sticking with that team game, that defense first mentality.
It's good to have the boys as well this morning. I think that we'll do a good wrap up, good meetings, and I think that was good to have a good skate, move the puck. It was not too long, but it was good. We'll keep the same schedule that we had in the previous game.
What did you want to focus on with today's practice?
Well, it was more puck movement and our special team at the end. I think lately what we're focusing on is to be connected in neutral zone, to build our speed and stay connected, not having a puck carrier take his time with the puck and forward it, or example, gathering speed. Everything has to be together. So our puck decision will lead to either an entry or a forecheck, but we need to build speed through neutral zone, so that's what we'll focus on.
What differences did you notice in terms of energy last night between the first and the third? And how do you try to more so replicate energy in the third period?
I think what happened in the third is the byproduct of what we did in the first 2 periods. What we did is we managed the puck much better. We got on the forecheck, and eventually we were down our opponent. If you look at the game, as much as you can say stuff about us, they had less energy at the end of the game than they had at the beginning of the game, and they didn't play in number of days. So I really like, if you look at our game, if you watch the game start to finish and you pay attention to it, you will see we got on the forecheck. It started 10 seconds in the period. Logan Cooley had the puck, had an opportunity to maybe try a play in the middle. Instead of that, was really mature, put the puck deep, got on the forecheck. We spent 20, 25 seconds in the offensive zone. That set up the next shift. Then we did that over and over again, and at some point it started to pay it off. And when you get forecheck like that, at some point you make an extra mistake, an extra play. And when you don't have the chance to attack that much, at some point offensively you force a play. That's a little bit what happened on one of the Logan Cooley scoring chance, where they force a play, we cut a play, we got on the rush, we got a Grady scoring chance, and now everything started to connect. So I just think we were relentless. We never stopped. It was wave after wave, shift after shift. We had which will happen every game because perfect game doesn't happen. We had a stretch in the second period where we mismanaged the puck. We pay heavily for our mistake. They had scoring chance. Veggie had to be big, and we lost a little bit of momentum. And then we regrouped. We got back at it, put puck deep, get to work, made some play when the play were there to make, and we got graded scoring chance. So now offense was coming from a little bit everywhere, either our forecheck, either our rush. So that we were a threat all the time.
What is it about playing at the Delta Center that I guess you guys have had so much success at the Delta Center? Like, what is it that causes that?
I think there's an energy. There's no doubt about it. There's a pride who got built over a year and a half. Like I often talk about the relationship, and I think the crowd give us that little boost because as much as I like the way we play all game, and I said what happened in the third is a byproduct of what happened at the beginning of the game, and et cetera, et cetera. But still, at some point, you're down 2-0, and you need that energy. And won't lie to you, yesterday we were tired. We all know the schedule, been in the bumps on the road we had on our last trip. So we had to find that energy, and the boys did an unbelievable job of digging in and not looking for excuses, looking for solutions. But the crowd, the energy they give us, that helped that. And we found the second gear and the big goal. A few big saves by Veggie, who started everything, and then the goal of Desi, and now we were, I was looking at 13 minutes in the second period, they had 15 shots. They finished with 19. So I think we had a little push.
Did any particular players step up last night when you guys needed to find that energy?
Well, the first name that come to mind is 67. Whew. Don't want to use a cliche to me. He was a man. Oh, boy. He was in the mission. So him and 22. And that line with Karks, they were really good. And then happened what happened in the third when we shift the line. But it's unfair to point only one guy because I really think Keller's line were in the mission too. They were creating possession, scoring chance. Kuz was managing the puck and the play better than he did in maybe all year. So this month is probably one as well. I should mention because for a stretch of about 10-12 minutes, it was possessed by I don't know what, but wow, he was flying out there. So that was cool.
We talked at the beginning of the season about Krause just having a different mindset with the role that he has going into this year. Now that there's a sample of games to start, can you point to anything, I guess, more tangible, not just the on-ice stuff, but what has rounded him out as this?
I don't know if exactly that will answer your question, but the maturity of that person in the adversity last year was absolutely amazing. Last year, we LT scratched him at some point. And when I met him, his answer, and you will remember that, was, I made my bed, I will sleep where I made my bed. He said, I deserve that. He didn't shy away, was not, that's BS, blah, 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 blah. As a man. And from there, his game really grew. And was the same in his exit meeting. They didn't say, beat around the bush or try to smooth everything. I will be ready. I own it. That's not good enough. And whew, did he ever? So credit to him. Really proud of him.
Andre, I'm assuming you considered switching the lines earlier than that.
Yeah.
What made you at
Waiting.
that moment? Well, what made you at that moment decide now is the right time?
I thought we needed a spark. We needed a little something. We had obviously a discussion about should we not. But at the time, for me, I think was right. We were generating offense, we were generating time possession, but we were not generating goals. So I thought maybe start to spark a little something. I think, like I said after the game, Karks with Gunner and Eights had success in the past. So I was hoping, and the way Boehner and the Crosser was playing, because what's holding that is Crosser's line were so good. I said it. Their expected goal yesterday against Tage Thompson line, 99.5. Never seen that. 99.5% of expected share goal. So now you break that. Today you're saying you did a great move. Well, at the time I wasn't sure it was a great move. I was saying, okay, might be the best performance we had in years, and we'll break that. Doesn't look like a genius move to me, but we did it because we thought that can create a little spark, and I did not know if that will last or what. But obviously, the way first shift, boom, they score. Second shift, they score. Well, maybe we'll give them a third one. Why not?
Coach, speaking of a spark, first TV timeout, the second period, you provided one of those with a one-way conversation to your team. A lot of pride in that group, a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Not going to ask what she said, because what's said on the bench stays on the bench, but how happy and proud were you of the group, of how they responded after that?
You know, I'm really proud, extremely proud, but I knew it not because of what I said, because of their eyes. You know, if you look the way they were looking at me and they were looking at each other, they were the fire in there. So I knew it was there. Sometimes, some nights, you can talk, you can do whatever you want there. It's empty. It was not empty. The guys were into it. And normally, example, you ask a timeout or there's a TV timeout, you need to rally the guy. And they're a little bit right away when they were at TV timeout. I say, hey, bring the guy. Everybody came right away. And my message was, hey, we were not in the present. We were worried about the score. The same answer I gave you in the morning, yesterday morning. If the score is a liar, if you base your game, your feelings, your focus on what the score is, then you won't be consistent. You will go like that. And as soon as they scored their second goal, because we were playing good before that, they scored their second goal and everything went off whack. We were not moving the puck quick enough. We were not outlet as quick. The pressure was not as quick. Whoa, okay. We stumble. Well, the message was just, we're not where our feet are. Just stay in the present, stay in the process, do what we know we're excellent at. And we're the better team. Just do it. Just stop focusing about the clock. That was the message. But the spirit in the group and the leadership of everybody but the leaders, when that situation happened, I knew. I said, okay, we will have a push. No, you don't know if that will work or not, but I knew. I said, okay, we'll have a push. And obviously, not long after, Desi scores. So there's more than one. There's a save of Veggie, I think it's a big thing. That timeout where the guys rallied, then the goal of Desi. Change the line, create a little spark, a little energy, and there's a number of things, but the number one thing is the effort of the guy. That's none of that matters if the effort is not as relentless as it was. The boys were amazing.
So Andre, can a game like that catapult a team? And before you answer, I characterized it early on as a rock fight.
Yeah.
But the team stays with the team stays in the structure.
Yeah.
They have patience.
Yeah.
They eventually get paid off.
Yeah.
Can that be a lesson moving forward?
It will be a lesson, but you had lesson 20 years ago, but you still make a mistake here and there, Mac, aren't you? that's my point is, yes, we will steer a lesson. That's a really good point you made, and absolutely. That doesn't mean we'll be perfect moving forward. It's not because you steer a lesson, you never make the mistake over again. The difference is when you make the mistake, you take less time to get back on your feet because I've been there. I made that mistake before. Let's not let that drag, you know. So I think there's a good lesson in that, but one game, you know, don't disrespect anybody, but we won one game. So we got carried away in the past. Let's just stay humble. We have a hell of a game tomorrow. We didn't play a lot of game at home, like you mentioned. Let's make sure we keep rolling and having a second good game in a row and showed up against a really good team. We have really good goaltending and their offense is producing. So let's make sure we're humble and ready.